Good morning. Welcome to this session on bank reconciliation for SunSystems. Bank reconciliation is a module produced by Professional Advantage. Professional Advantage are the Asia Pacific's largest SunSystems partner and reseller, and also the largest global development partner for info in relation to SunSystems modules. Professional Advantage produce a number of different tools that work in and around the outside of SunSystems to produce new user interfaces or to add functionality where SunSystems isn't offering what you require for your organization. The benefit of Professional Advantage modules is that they are utterly integrated to SunSystems at the deepest level, and therefore they are always available for a corresponding upgrade path where you move to a new version of SunSystems, and they also always lever off functionality that may be added to SunSystems during such upgrades. Bank reconciliation is part of the Professional Advantage Cash Management Suite. The Cash Management Suite consists of B4B, or Bank Links for Business, which is an EFT interface between SunSystems and your bank's EFT upload processes, eRemit, which is a tool that allows the generation of remittances following a supplier payment run, and the distribution of those remittances to suppliers via email as a PDF or a rich text document. Bank reconciliation, which we're talking about today, is a full bank reconciliation tool with specialized functionality to allow you to manage your bank accounts in the most appropriate fashion. PA Bank Reconciliation provides a complete system for maintaining your current bank position. It allows you to identify, track, and resolve non-reconciled items at a glance. It is flexible and powerful, and it allows you to deal with multiple bank accounts and multiple business units. It also supports the upload of multiple bank statement formats that have been downloaded from your banking systems. For example, if you use Barclays Internet Business Banking, you are able to download a statement in a particular format, and Bank Reconciliation will provide the ability to upload that format in its generic style. You would not need to transfer the transactions into a journal upload to import them into SunSystems, and Bank Reconciliation does not utilize the SunSystems ledger to hold the bank statements. Rather, bank statements are displayed within the system as a bank statement with all the corresponding details you would expect, such as opening balances, closing balances, references, descriptions, and transaction types. The system is dedicated and allows you to audit anything you've imported, any transactions that you have matched against a bank account within SunSystems, and provides drill-down capability to those transactions. The benefits of bank reconciliation are very simple. Firstly, it saves a massive amount of time. Once a statement is imported, you're able to perform automatic or manual matching, and the automatic rules are very powerful and allow very quick reconciliation of quite complex transactions. The system is very accurate, and once working, it allows you to deal with things that you would perhaps taken a long time to do in the past. It is easy to use, and because it can be installed on as many PCs as you like or deployed through Citrix, any number of users can log into the system to maintain your bank position, even if they are not SunSystems users, and you're able to do everything you require from within the one area. For example, you can generate transactions from within the statement and post those into SunSystems at the click of a button. One of the biggest areas of bank reconciliation in terms of its benefit is the way that the automatic matching rules work. You can define rules very simply and easily and maintain them as an end user, and they are much more transparent than using business rules within SunSystems to achieve the same aim. Matching rules can be set up to match transactional values within the statement with those within SunSystems, and they can use wildcards in order to identify transactions very easily. You can also set up business rules that automatically post transactions into SunSystems, such as bank charges or maybe receipts. The ROI in bank reconciliation can be very easily recognized. It saves you time through the central upload of statements with no need to convert data into a journal file, which reduces the cost and effort incumbent in your financial staff. The system means that you don't have to jump between various types of functionality within SunSystems, and this again saves you time and cost. It is accurate, and matching is very easily achieved with an automatic drill down to the audit trail, meaning that you always have compliance and understanding from an auditor's perspective, and the accurate and fast automatic matching reduces time spent manually matching data and fixing mismatched transactions. It is a one-stop shop for all reconciliation activity, and the bank rec work can be spread across your staff even if they do not use a SunSystems license currently, or indeed have no understanding of SunSystems. The system allows, on general, for an average of 80% automatic matching of transactions, leaving 20% for you to do manually. This is an improvement on time and cost across the board. I'm now going to hand you over to my colleague who's going to run you through some of the processes in bank reconciliation and show you how the functionality can benefit your organisation. On the screen here we have a value statement from one of our previous customers.
Good afternoon. Today we're going to be taking a look at bank reconciliation. Bank reconciliation can be installed on your desktop or deployed to a user through Citrix or Terminal Server. To log into bank reconciliation, you need to go to Start, All Programs, Professional Advantage, Bank Reconciliation, and select the icon there. When you log into bank reconciliation, you're using your SunSystems username and password, although you're not actually using a SunSystems license when you do log in. This will bring up the bank reconciliation main screen. From the bank reconciliation main screen, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner the user that you're currently logged in as. You can also see the business unit or database that you're currently in. To change the business unit or database, you go to File, Change Business Unit, and that allows you to jump around to any of the business units that you have set up. If we look again at the bank reconciliation main screen, we can see that there are two main buttons here. We have the Do Matching button and the View Statements button. In the Do Matching area, we're able to go in and actually carry out the reconciliation itself. All outstanding lines for all accounts and statement pages are displayed in the Do Matching section. In the View Statements area, we have a view of everything that's happened in the past. So a full audit history in the View Statements section of all lines that have been reconciled. If we select the View Statements button, we're given two options. We're able to view statements by account number or view statements by end date. If I select to view statements by account number, then this will bring up all of the bank accounts for the business unit that I'm currently in. These are actually the bank accounts at the bank rather than the SunSystems ledger accounts that we're looking at here. If I expand a particular account, I can see the statement pages that have been imported for that particular account. If I select one of the statement pages, then on the right hand side of the screen that statement is brought up in a display in a grid format for me. I can see a bit of basic information on this statement, such as the account number, the statement date, and the opening and closing balance. The grid that we can see here will display information from your statement that should be quite similar to the information that you would see on your paper statement from the bank. So, depending upon who you bank with and the particular format of your statement, these fields will look slightly differently. So you may have one long reference or one long description, and these fields will vary depending upon who you bank with and the format of your statement that you are importing. The grid functionality that we have here is common to all PEA products. You can drag and drop columns. You can also group just by dragging and dropping the column header into the top of the screen. You can also subgroup just by dragging and dropping. And that just allows the user to view information however they wish to. And it will retain that grouping for the next time that the user logs into the system. If I drag those back down and we have a look again at the grid, if I scroll across to the right hand side, then beyond the credit column, which I've just indicated here, we have some additional fields on the screen that are unique to bank reconciliation. So these fields are filled out when we go off and actually carry out the reconciliation process itself. When lines are matched together, the field here will be filled out, so the date matched, whether any criteria was used to match those lines, whether a rule was used, and the allocation date and the allocation reference will also be filled in here. The allocation reference that we can see here is the same as the allocation reference that we use in SunSystems when we're using account allocation in there to post an R marker onto the transaction. So bank reconciliation actually picks that up and we're able to view the allocation reference on the screen here. As you can see, the lines are highlighted in yellow and that indicates that they have been reconciled. If I double click on this line, then I'm able to drill down to the detail. This brings up a screen where I can see the bank statement line and the SunSystems transaction that were reconciled together. From here, I could drill down further by saying show transaction, and I can actually drill down to the detail of the SunSystems transaction and view all of the journal detail, any analysis codes, conversion codes, all of that information from here. Also from the match record screen, you are able to unmatch transactions. So perhaps you realise a mistake's been made, you can come in here and select to unmatch the lines, and that will then represent them for matching at a later stage. We can see now that line's no longer highlighted in yellow and the date matched and the rule used has been removed, as that line is now available again for me to reconcile at a later stage. Now that we've had a quick look at the statement, it's worth looking at how you import the statements into the system. I could select the Import Statements button here, or if I go to File, Import Statements, this will bring up a screen where I can import all of my bank statements into bank reconciliation. The first thing that I need to select on the screen is the bank format that I wish to use. We currently support many different electronic bank formats, but if we don't currently support your bank's format or they've changed it in some way, then we are able to produce new formats or custom formats as part of the installation of bank reconciliation. I'm going to proceed using the Citibank format for this import. I then have the option of what I want to do with my statement file once I've imported it into the system. So do I want to leave it where it is, delete it, or move it to another folder, which I can select just by hitting the drop down. I'm then able to select, if I just expand this, I can select whether I want to confirm statements before import. So perhaps you would have one user coming in here and importing statements for multiple accounts and multiple business units, which you are able to do, and then bank reconciliation will actually break up those statements into the appropriate accounts and into the appropriate business units for you. Confirming the statements before you import allows you to see all of the files that you selected to import into the system and to confirm that those are the correct files, and you can select and deselect the statement files from that screen. I could also select to perform automatic matching after I've imported my statement. This would allow me to run all of the automatic matching rules that I have set up once the statement has been imported. So all in one go, I can import the statement and run all of those rules just at the click of a button. I'm going to leave that now, as I'm going to show you the automatic matching setup in just a moment and show you how that you can actually run that at a later stage. I then need to actually add the statement file to the screen. So I have my Citibank statement saved to a particular folder on my system that I can select to import from there. So you would need to have all of your statements saved to a particular folder where you can go and then import them to the system from there. If I select to import, if I select to leave the statement where it is first, then if I select to import, then I can view the confirmation screen that I mentioned just a moment ago, and I can select or deselect my statements from there, just confirming that they are the correct statements that I wish to import. If you are importing duplicate statements, you will receive a warning, as you can see on the screen now. I'm going to proceed with this, and my statement has been successfully imported into the system there. So that's now available for me to go and carry out some reconciliation. If we go into the Do Matching section, then I'm able to view all of my outstanding lines by account number. So here I can see all accounts that I have set up, and if I select a particular account that I wish to do matching for, then this will bring up a split screen on the right hand side with my bank statement lines at the top and my SunSystems transaction lines at the bottom, displaying all outstanding lines that I have not yet matched. From within this screen, we have the ability to do some manual matching. Again, we can see this grid format that we have again that we saw in the view statements area, and similarly you can drag and drop the header and group the information however you wish from this screen. To carry out a manual match, I'll select a line from the top with a line at the bottom that I wish to match off, and you will be able to check at the bottom that those two lines actually balance out, and you won't actually be able to match those lines if they don't balance out on this screen. If I select a match, then these two lines will disappear from the screen, an R marker will be posted to Sun, and they will appear in the view statements section in yellow, indicating that they have been matched and with a date stamp, and that it was a manual match filled out in the additional columns that we saw just a moment ago. There is some additional functionality available around the manual matching. For instance, if you receive something on your statement that doesn't appear in SunSystems, for example a bank fee, then BankRec allows you to post a journal to SunSystems for that bank fee, and will reconcile those two lines off together all in one go. So if I find a bank fee that I've received, here we go, then I can right click, select to create journal, or alternatively you might have a number of journal presets set up. So I've got a number of presets already configured for me here, or I could fill out a blank journal on the fly by coming into this screen. If I go back and select one of my journal presets, so I have a bank charges preset set up here, and within this screen all of the columns have been filled out for me there, all of the information about that particular journal has been filled out, and I can select OK, and then it will post that journal to SunSystems and reconcile those lines and bring me back a journal number, so I could then go into SunSystems and check that if I wanted to from there. Alternatively, you might have a SunSystems transaction line that you wish to split. Perhaps you've received a part payment on your bank statement and you want to split off the SunSystems transaction so that you can actually match those two lines. So if I wish to do that, I simply right click, select to split transaction, then I type in the amount that I wish to split off and add an additional journal line. So this will create an extra line in the Sun journal with the number 999999, and that is a system generated journal number, and the same as you'll find an account allocation in SunSystems. If I type in L, then it will work out the difference between those two amounts and allow me to add that extra journal line in there. If I select the tick at the bottom of the screen, it will check for me that these balance to the original amount, and then I'm able to select OK and actually split that SunSystems line. That line is then available for me to go and match. Selected two that don't match there. The other transaction line is then available for me to match at a later stage when I receive the rest of that payment. From this screen you are able to carry out multiple matches, so if I hit Control I can select multiple lines from the top and the bottom that I wish to match off. Again, they do need to balance before you are able to match them there. Now that we've had an overview of the manual matching functionality available, it's worth going and looking at the automatic matching rules that you can set up within Bank Reconciliation. If I go to Maintenance, Automatic Matching Setup, then within here I can set up some automatic matching rules that I can run either when I import the statement or at a later stage on any of my accounts. If I select to add a new rule, then I can define this to be anything I wish. So if I just call it demo rule, then within this screen I need to define particular columns so that Bank Reconciliation knows which lines on my bank statement to pick up. So I could select initially to apply this particular rule to a particular account. Alternatively, if I leave that blank, then it will apply this rule to all of my bank accounts. I can select whether I want this rule just to apply to credits or debits, or again, if I leave it blank, then it will apply to both. If I scroll over to the right hand side, I could select a particular transaction date range or value date range that I wish the rule to apply for, or again, if I leave it blank, then it will apply to all of those dates. The really powerful columns when setting up the rules are the transaction type, reference and description. And this is because it's these fields that we find that people are able to identify particular lines on their statement that they wish to be picked up by the rule. So in the description column, if I was to type in the description of DEM, then that rule would go off and it would only identify lines on my statement with that exact description. Descriptions on statements aren't normally quite so simple as to just be DEM, so what Bank Reconciliation allows you to do is to use a number of wildcards in order to pick up the exact description that appears on your statement. If I use the percentage marker, then this represents any number of characters of any type. So then this rule would go off and it would identify lines of my statement with the description of DEM followed by any number of characters of any type. I might then know that the description always is followed by 1, 2, 3, so a series of numbers. I then might want to use another wildcard, so I could use the underscore marker for one character of any type, or the hyphen, which is for a single blank character. So we can build these descriptions to be as complex as we need them to be in order to identify exactly what it is on our statement that we want Bank Reconciliation to pick up with these rules. This does require a degree of commonality on your bank statement in order for these rules to pick up particular lines. Once we've defined the rule, if we tick to save that rule, then we need to go and actually attach a matching rule to the criteria. So if we go into the Matching Rules tab and I select to create a new matching rule for this criteria that I've set up, and again I'll just call this demo, then first of all I can select that I wish Bank Reconciliation to either match the lines that it's picked up with my criteria to existing SunSystems transactions, or to create a new SunSystems transaction and match those lines. So if I select that first, then I could select one of my journal presets that I have set up, or configure one specifically for this, and if I select that preset, then all of the lines picked up by this particular rule would then have a journal posted to SunSystems, and then those lines would be matched off accordingly there. Alternatively, if I select that I wish the lines that are picked up to be matched to existing SunSystems transactions, then I'm able to use the criteria in the bottom half of the screen to actually define which SunSystems transactions I wish to be matched to this. So I could say match the transaction date on the statement to the transaction date in SunSystems. I could say that I wish to match the reference on the statement to any of my T codes in SunSystems. I could say that I wish to match, for example, the 5th character of the reference running for 7 to the 2nd character of my transaction code also running for 7. I'm able to select to strip leading zeros from the match, so that's quite useful for checks. And then I can select to enforce one-to-one matching. So if multiple lines match, I could select that I actually wish to enforce one-to-one matching, so match on oldest amount or newest amount, or I could select that it's okay to match one line to many. I'm able to select to allow automatic out of balance tolerances for matches, and this would allow you, perhaps if you had a slight difference between the two amounts, perhaps because of a conversion rate, then I could say I wish to allow a out of balance of less than 50 pence. So if the lines do match based on all of the other criteria that I've set up, but they are out of balance by less than 50 pence, then I could select my journal preset that I have set up for small and approved. And what bank reconciliation would do is to post a journal for that small difference. So the small difference between those two lines, a journal would be posted for that, and those two lines would be matched off there. Once I've defined my criteria within this screen, if I go back to the criteria tab, then I just need to link that rule to my criteria. And then that is my rule complete. And we can build as many of these rules for you as required. Perhaps begin with a few rules and then build more as you become more confident with using bank reconciliation there. We do find that people are able to achieve a sort of 70 to 80% automatic matching within bank reconciliation, leaving you very little manual matching to actually carry out, so saving you a lot of time and effort there. If we close the automatic matching setup screen, then if I haven't already selected to run the automatic matching when I import the statement, then I can right click on the account that I wish to run the automatic matching for and select to run the automatic matching. I will get a confirmation screen and I can select yes that I wish to run the automatic matching, and then that will be applied to that particular account. And if we go into the view statements area and view that particular account, then we'll be able to see some additional lines are now appearing in yellow, and for those that were an automatic match such as this one, the criteria used and the rule used appears there for me. So I have that full audit history available to me at any time. I can jump in here and see what has happened in the past and drill down on those lines as we saw just a moment ago. There are a number of reports available within bank reconciliation, so a particular user can come in here and access any of these reports. We have 4 available. We have the bank reconciliation summary report, and this shows you your current bank position. You're able to view the report by business unit. So if I select the particular business unit or database that I wish to inquire on, and also a particular account that I wish to inquire on, then I can run that report and it will bring me back a PDF listing of the information that I've selected. So within here, I'm able to view key information such as my closing balance, and I'm able to see all outstanding lines there for that particular account. And this PDF listing that we can see here can be exported to Word or to Excel or printed or emailed out. If we jump to the end of the report, then we have a summary available of the ledger balance, unmatched ledger amount, calculated balance, and most importantly, the calculated difference. If I close this report and we take a look at the next report available, we have the bank reconciliation summary report. Because this is a summary report, it's useful to run it across multiple accounts. So if we run that summary report, then this will show me key information about the bank reconciliation, so we can gather information just at a quick glance across multiple accounts. And as I mentioned, I can export this to Excel. So if I save that to my desktop, we can go and take a quick look at how we can view that particular report in Excel. The third report that we have available is the bank statement report. Again, if I select the business unit or database I wish to inquire on and the account that I wish to inquire on, then I can select to view all outstanding statement lines that haven't been matched, or I can select to view all lines including those that have been matched. So I have that option just at the bottom of the screen here to select which lines I actually wish to view on the report. If I run that report, and I'm able to see here the SunSystems account that the statement line was matched to, and whether the match was a split or whether there were multiple matches there. So I can see this is matched, this line here. I can see all of my unmatched lines. If there were any split lines, I'd be able to see that from the screen here. And again, at the end of the report, we have a summary and opening and closing balance. I jump back in there a sec. The final report that I have available is the Chart of Accounts report. This is purely an administrative report that allows you to see all of the Sun accounts and which bank accounts they're linked to. And that brings us to the end of the bank reconciliation demonstration. If you do have any questions, or if you'd like to see a more detailed webinar, then please don't hesitate to get in touch, and our contact details you'll be able to view on the following screen. Thank you very much.